I first met Geshe Thubten Phuntsok in 1999 at Sera, the monastery for Tibetans in exile in South India. As a monk, he has studied for 22 years for his degree of Doctor of Philosophy. He was accorded the title of Geshe La Rampa. For the last 20 years, he's been responsible for the education of a group of children that is composed of 17 young monks and several other boys and girls. His young pupils all come from his own native region, the Tawang Valley, in the Himalayan state of Arunachal Pradesh in northeast India. As our friendship grew over the years, he confided in me his deepest ambition to come to the aid of the inhabitants of his native valley. His village, Gongkar, is situated in the Tawang district of Arunachal Pradesh, which shares its frontiers with China, Bhutan and Myanmar. It's still one of the most isolated regions of India, and foreigners have for a long time been forbidden entry. In fact, China has battled long and hard to gain possession of this ancient state that was at one time part of Tibet. In 1962, they invaded the region, but were pushed back by the Indian army. Since then, there has been a strong military presence and considerable tension. Arunachal Pradesh covers a vast area, but it's sparsely populated. Its inhabitants feel themselves to be forgotten by the central government of India. Many villages are not linked with roads, and travel is only possible by heavy-duty vehicles, and above all, on foot. The inhabitants of Gongkar are all members of a tribe of Tibetan origin, the Mompas, who live in the traditional Tibetan fashion, work collectively, and are virtually self-sufficient. They are a people accustomed to dance, drink and pray together. And they have a strong culture that's at the same time both dignified and joyful. Their difficulty in adapting to the outside world has become a problem. During the last few years, certain illnesses which are new to them manifested themselves. Tuberculosis, gastric problems and other infections have become widespread, all of which have remedies that are readily available in Indian pharmacies, but which without correct diagnosis and prescriptions, and above all without the money to pay for them, create a problem that is becoming increasingly critical. The first dispensary is more than 5 hours away on foot. It follows that an elderly person or somebody in weak health has little hope to survive. The population is in the situation of not being able to benefit from the most basic health care.
thâu cho man cái đi chui này chỉ đi đi cả chỉ vác này na chỉ sang này chỉ ít đàn sang na chắc để lại này na chắc sau này chỉ lùm này chỉ
nhớ qua trắng có nên miss để cho mình bị phiền cái có này cốp ra ra chứ chỉ 하렘 내가读셔야 내가 락셔라 để cho mình nói nindi는 릴량로디 되어가 심이들아 차서 거랑녀도 미스 필게도 미스 이식 어서 요미에미나 얘다 잘라줘 네스자 바딘 파노라는 드비상한 주렁주렁라이메 오야 많이 저도 판도 셔티시에 대자모나 나버져 식 많아요 그냥 그냥 포식 미나가 거르마더도 겸 무이쇼 뭐노 식 거르 차이 식 미스 부스코드 미베도 나쁘고 알랑알랑 그냥 뭐 오예 뚝식 거르 그냥 뭐 거르 재미나셔 라지 버서 라지비 뭐노 대자모노 오예 식미 짬도 우예미나 약한 티니 내를 무는 거.
It's for all these reasons that we decided with Geshe Thubten Phuntsok to launch a project to build a dispensary at Gongkar. The dispensary would counterbalance the isolated nature of the valley and thus stop the tuberculosis epidemic from spreading. We are walking to the plot of land that has been offered free of charge by one of the village people for the construction of the dispensary. The site is in the centre of the valley, below the village and near the river. In this strategically placed situation, all the inhabitants of the valley would have easy access. Counting the neighbouring hamlets and villages is about 15,000 people who would benefit from it.
You can see all the villages around, all this area.
This Gongkar, this Yangtin, or this Dargang, or Khordung, Soma, Shin.
Community to the Jidan Dinamia, Lobjong in Kalkansam Geores, Testa, Pajama to Dinji.
Chignage some Lepola, Plastilu Lepo,
Senda go to Lamenda, Juji Lamin in the Geores, and then so Pache, Tanzaliados, community those members Gerosis, Conzo Pache, Kelindo Cobres, Casindi, Milipendo, and the Chidu, and then did on Chabjeliada. lumbi gojeba ta khon khashi chores na khon da nyam do to streeter chen sama nyam ri thon ya ga le ya do se ba ina
Geshe Thubten Phuntsok, who is the initiator of this project, has managed to pay for a young girl from the village to study to be a nurse. But now financial assistance is badly needed to pay for building materials and the medical equipment that is necessary, and to remunerate the medical staff. When everything has been set up, Geshe Thubten Phuntsok will be able to receive a subsidy from the Indian government that would enable the clinic to be autonomous. The dispensary will be built in the traditional style of the region, and the villagers who are totally involved in the project will do the building themselves on a voluntary basis. The headman of the village and Geshe Thubten Phuntsok has shared with me their sense of despair, faced by this mounting problem of illnesses with which they are simply unable to cope. Their dearest wish is to construct a clinic at Gongkar. A healthy body, they say, strengthens the spirit of everyone.